Today, we are going to be discussing the issue of sexual harassment. This is something that many of us have had to deal with. This is something that has been there from our history, and up till now, it's a huge problem. There's so many people that find themselves in difficult situations and even have to succumb just to survive. With me, I have Mr. Daniel, who is here to share his own story with us. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
Okay, talk to me. What is the problem?
Actually, I've been working for this company for the past 5 years.
I see.
And the MD have been harassing me sexually. At first, she started throwing some passes which I seems not to understand, but until she came out openly in her office. Because I kept resisting her, she stopped paying me my salary. As I'm talking to you, for the past 4 months, I have not received my salary.
Wow, that's serious.
I've been working for the company for the past 5 years and I have not received a promotion. Or because I refuse to succumb to what she wants.
Why is it that you don't want to succumb? Like, typically, every young man would say, that's a great opportunity, let me take it. But why are you saying no to her?
Come on, I'm married. I'm a married man, I have family with kids.
I see.
I love my wife, and from the day I took those marital vows, I decided to keep to them.
That's honorable. Is she also married?
Yes, she's married to a very honorable man, a noble man with a good heart.
I see. And how often does this happen?
Sometimes she calls me to her office to harass me, and I try to resist her. Sometimes she tells me to errands that are not part of the company duties. I kept resisting her every time. And because of that, I'm suffering.
I see.
Because she has not paid me for the past 4 months, and I have kids at home.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I have kids at home. So this sexual harassment of a thing is really, really on my neck.
It's a big issue. It's a big issue. Well, let me start by saying that I feel your pain. I know it can't be easy. And unfortunately, this is the situation. The first thing we will try to do is to reach out to her. Maybe one of my team members will go and officially talk to her, send her a letter or something to just talk to her to calm down, let everything go. You know, we try to go the peaceful route first. So we're going to try to talk to her on your behalf. Now, plan B would be that you take it to court. You actually have worked and earned the promotion. You have actually worked for the month's salary that is being held back. So it is your right. But you see, you cannot go to court without evidence. So my advice would be from now, before we even contact her, you start gathering evidence. Use your phone. You can get voice recordings of when she harasses you. You can get pictures as much as possible. You know, anything you can have that's evidence that we may use in court, so that in case talking to her peacefully does not work and we have to resort to using the court and the police, we will then have enough evidence to use to fight for your case.
Thank you very much.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
Everything will be okay.
I appreciate it.
There you have it. There's more after the break. Don't go anywhere. If you're just joining us, it's Lifelines with Mima, and today we're treating the topic of sexual harassment. Earlier, we had a young man come in to share his own experience, and a lot has been said on this matter. But there's more. I have two people with me now that are willing to also share their unique cases with us. Welcome, Ms. Joy.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, I have Professor Ben here. Thank you, sir. Thank you for honoring us with your presence.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Okay, let's start with you, Joy. What was your experience like? What happened in your university?
Okay, while in school, I happened to be assistant course rep. And being in the spotlight, I couldn't avoid some wandering eyes of professors. I'm sorry, sir. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but I had lots of issues, especially with one particular professor. I kept taking his course over and over, even down to my fourth year.
Wow.
Yes, until they changed him before I was able
To graduate.
Yes, before I was able to do that. Like, I was scared of having an extra year. Like, it took me everything. I had to pray, fast, consult my parent, and because of the fear of the stigma of reporting a professor, I couldn't even dare. Thank God I was able to graduate with my mate. It wasn't easy,
It wasn't.
but a lot of people were not fortunate.
They had to.
A lot that I know, not ahead of a lot of students, were not as fortunate
Wow.
as I was. So.
It's so sad. Sir, from a lecturer's perspective, what do you think about this matter?
Yeah, actually, in the society at large, the society only want to know about the victim. They don't care to investigate or to even ask what led to sexual harassment.
Okay.
Not only in the school, in the public places, private places, all over the place.
Yeah.
So one thing would have led to the other. Now, we lecturers, for an example, naturally, we are all humans, first and foremost. I don't want to be personal. We have a standard. We have policies, we have principles, laid down rules, regulations, and guidelines in the school, guiding not only the students, also for the lecturers. So we lecturers are very professional in our job. We ensure that student-lecturer relationship is very cordial. Now, if we're really talking about sexual harassment in this context now, I want to break it down. One, into the cause, what is sexual harassment,
Yeah.
and perhaps maybe what is the, I will put it, what is the deterrent to sexual harassment. Let me start from causes.
Okay.
Causes could be breaking down into two.
Okay.
Either social reasons or economic reasons. In the school, social, how does the female students, for an example, how do they dress to school?
Very important.
You see a student walking to the school premises with skimpy materials, skimpy dresses, with all the boobs, everything coming out. And you have a lecturer who has blood, water running in his face.
I see.
What do we expect? Sexual harassment starts with the female student who dress skimpily to school.
They get the attention.
To get their attention. And most of these females, I will refer to what I refer to as STD. Sexually, I'll say, transmitted or translated degree. They want a degree, and they go about it sexually.
Wow.
They want to seduce a lecturer. They buy lecturers all kinds of drinks, all kinds of emoluments, give them whatever they want. Some even offer their body.
Just to
you
graduate.
book a hotel for a lecturer, you pay all expenses, you invite a lecturer because you don't attend the classes, you don't do the assignment, you don't do anything. You have this relationship with your lecturer, you want to entice him.
Yeah, to make it easy.
Then at the end of the day, these females will start screaming rape, harassment. That is sexual harassment from the female students. Not only that, economic-wise, they don't have money.
Okay.
Most students, we all know the economic situation of maybe the countries. And they don't have enough money to keep them going in the school.
Yeah.
Not only against the lecturers, even among their fellow students. They start doing what we call ROS.
Wow.
Yes, it starts with them. Economically, they start hobnobbing from one person to another, and at times they get the lecturers involved. So it starts with the female students.
Okay.
That is why. I'm not saying that the male lecturers are completely exonerated. I'm not saying that. Because like I said earlier, we have rules, regulations, policies, guidelines
I must follow.
against such activities or occurrences in the school.
Okay.
Now, not only that, These female students, most of them, peer pressure.
That's another thing.
Yeah, peer pressure.
They do it just because other people are doing
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
You see a female student who say, oh, that lecturer gave me so grade on this particular subject, so you always fail it. Why don't you go and meet him? That pressure from this female student to the other student, he said, if I go, will he agree? He said, don't worry, I will take you to him. I will introduce you to him. And before you know, that will also lead to what they call, in quotes, sexual harassment or rape. Now, if we're talking about sexual harassment, that word harassment, what does it mean? Dictionary definition of harassment, maybe when you are vexed over repeated pressure or on something which you don't want. They say that's a harassment. So a student who dresses every day simply to school is harassing the male lecturers, not even only the students, the male students.
I see.
So
I'm
sexual
sorry,
harassment.
Mark, can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
What about the female students who don't actually dress that way but still get harassed?
No, like I said later, I don't really, I'm not really defending only the male lecturers. Some people are the bad eggs. Yes, there are some bad eggs in every society.
Yeah.
It goes across the board.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the previous preliminary session of the Senate, the 8th session that went by, there is a bill, this sexual harassment bill, that's been read on the floor of the Senate.
Already, yeah.
Already, that's kind of like they're trying to bring in like 5 years jail term for offenders, either the lecturer or educators, anybody. It's still ongoing. So it is not on, I'm not defending the male, like I said.
Yeah.
There are still some bad eggs that also need to be disciplined. So we can feed them out. But the bottom line, where it starts from, is from the female counterpart, as the students. They originate, they initiate, they start. They kick off this sexual harassment.
But that's not in all cases.
Yeah.
How about those that now have the misfortune of meeting some of the bad eggs that we're
Yes.
talking about, where a lady is decent, she doesn't miss class.
Okay.
She carefully handles herself.
That's right.
But for some reason, this one lecturer is fixed on her and insists that he must have her.
Good. We'll now look at the preventive measures. If a lecturer is maybe harassing you, that's called sexual harassment now. The lady or the student in question dresses very well, and is conventional in a mode of appearance and everything. So what such students will do to prevent such an occurrence is, if the lecturer is inviting you, do not go to his office alone.
Okay.
Make sure you go with someone, male or female, for whatever.
Yeah.
If he wants to have a private chat or talk with you, the person you went there with can wait by the door side.
So that
for the few, you know that somebody is there. Then nothing of such will really happen. Now, for the female also, if you are very sure and you want to really nail this lecturer who is really harassing you, there are many things you can do to garner evidence. You don't just come up and say, this lecturer is harassing me. It's your word against the lecturer's word.
That's true.
So you need overwhelming evidence. You may have your phone, you have a recorder, you can record certain things. These days there is this button you can put on your cloth that can video
That has
your
like a
environment.
camera,
It has a
okay.
camera.
Okay.
Yes, I will encourage that.
Okay.
For you to be able to prove your case beyond reasonable doubt that this man is actually harassing me. And if proven, go straight to the Senate
And report.
and make your report official.
Okay.
And it cannot be used as a blackmail because
Yes, sure.
I must talk about it. Most of these students set up a lecturer. When you start talking dirty with a lecturer, what do you expect? And it may be a setup. Then you come with your recorder or your camera and you start recording it. Whereas it's a setup and you're discussing dirty with a lecturer. At times we want to socialize. Of course, student-lecturer relationship, you want to socialize. And in that process, this student is already setting you up, either with a recorder or with a hidden camera or whatever. So in general, I am still blaming the female student.
I see. Thank you, sir. So, do you have anything to add before we go?
I don't support his theory.
Okay.
I really don't, because I studied in a place where ladies are not just allowed to dress the way they want to, but because of the cultural practices there. So most of all these ladies are well-behaved ladies, but they still faced all this from men who you see them outside. You say, oh, they are responsible. This is a family man. Oh, this is a great father. But these men
No.
oppress these ladies.
Sorry, let me cut you off in that. What do you think? In the school, in most institutions these days, it is written all over, posters all over, about students, rules and regulations, how they are supposed to dress.
True.
They post it in most places. As you walk into the school compound, they will tell you, no skimpy dress, no this, no that. You know, they will say, no wearing of trousers.
No, but she's saying
that they don't
she's
dress
talking
that
about
way.
how about the girls that are decent?
Yes.
They don't dress funny. They don't act funny.
At
They don't
all.
seduce the lecturer at all.
That's right.
But still, this person still wants them and is
That
ready
is
to
on
torment
the
them.
outlook. That is on the facial outlook. What you see is not what you get inside.
So with all
Many
due
of these
respect,
ladies you are talking about, they look gentle outside, but inside they are like cats.
that's because the lecturers make the move first before they realize those ladies are like cats. That's the truth.
I want to disagree to some extent. I want to disagree to some because we lecturers, we are professionals in our job. We are professionals and we abide by the rules and regulations. I'm not saying that there's no bad eggs. There's still a few bad eggs, but one bad egg cannot rubbish, the integrity of the entire school, lecturers or institution.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. Okay. There you have it. We'll be right back.
Yes, we have the situation before us here as brought to us by our client on the sexual harassment case.
Very true.
Yes, so we have to deliberate on it as we always do. So let's start with Mrs. Elizabeth. What's your thought on this case right now?
If I'm not wrong, if I don't forget, he mentioned that some of these students come around to seduce them because they are lazy when it comes to their academics. And they see that lecturers that probably are promiscuous too may give in into their antics when they come to seduce them. You can imagine when a student comes to school half naked dressed, Lecturers, they are not a piece of furniture, they are not wood. The students too, there are so many of them that are very, very lazy. They are very lazy when it comes to their academics. Most of them cannot read. So in this case, I am not justifying the two cases, but I am trying to say that both parties have a lot to work on.
You quite agree with me that from time immemorial, this issue has been with us.
Point of correction, time immemorial.
It's the sentence. You see, students, instead of them to face their book, they will be doing Facebooking. This is where they get the peer pressure, biases of every color. Now, more especially the girls folk and even the boys folk, they go and harass lecturers. And at the end of the day, they believe the lecturer will be victimized. Where are they learning this bad habit from? Bad parenting. Because you never parented your child very well while she is at home. So she go and join bad gang. At the end of the day, she feels she can shortcut. There is dignity in labor. Even in laborers, you quite agree with me, there is dignity. Then for the young man who has gained employment, and the employer and the employee, she wants them to pursue. He can, as a matter of fact, leave the job, because it will not end well if he feels he cannot give in, because nobody will believe him. If the woman, maybe for instance, if she come and label him that he is even a criminal, they will believe the woman.
Yes.
So I think, as a matter of fact, barrister, we should advise this man to leave and see it as sacrifice.
But Malam, we have to actually understand, if he leaves the woman alone. What prevents the woman from doing it to another employee? 6 months you've worked hard. You've given your time. Everybody else has been paid. Everybody else has been promoted. But you.
It's very simple, Barrister. Let me take the wind out of you. The wind out of you. You will quite agree with me in investigating journalism. You quite agree with me that is what they call a mark money. They can catch her red-handed. It's just to plan somebody who is just like the story of the lecturer, where somebody took it upon himself to set a trap for the woman. Do you understand? So the boy can actually resign and somebody will get employment. You understand? You get the point. That at the end of the day, they will even set the woman and cut her red-handed with some mark money or even mark human being. Me, I can even offer myself to even go to that office. Let her seduce me.
Maybe they are going to set her up.
Thank you, Boroma. We are in Nigeria. You are a barrister.
Can I give the legal perspective now?
Yes, very well.
Okay. The truth is sexual harassment is a crime in Nigeria. Even the criminal law of Lagos State, Section 262, is punishable up to 3 years imprisonment.
Okay.
And Section 224 of the Criminal Code, as applicable to the southern states, is actually punishable too. Even right now, we have what they call the Sexual Harassment in Tertiary Education Institution Prohibition Bill, which is actually at the National Assembly stage to prevent lecturers from taking advantage of their students. Now, this means that it's actually a serious issue. And even for workers and employees and employers, we actually have a court that attends strictly to that. That's the National Industrial Court. And I will tell you, as long as the man has evidence to show that his mates or colleagues have been paid or have been promoted and he has been denied promotion on the basis of the fact that he refused to have any form of sexual intercourse or interaction with her, can actually be an evidence to support it. If, as you say, he should set her up and he has not come to say, oh, this person is sexually harassing me, I have this evidence, all they will just do is caution her. She owns the company. She's the owner of the company. They can only slap her on the wrist. What would that do? Would that bring back 6 months of his life? Now try and imagine a child who is 6 months old. And imagine how far the child had to be up to that. That's half a year of his life gone. For what? And no fee. So instead of relinquishing it, I would advise that he meet our team of lawyers or go to a law firm and actually take it up as long as he has the evidence. In conclusion, do you have anything to say, Marlon?
I don't like concluding because it's armed robbers that come and say, conclude. So let me submit.
Okay.
In submitting, I think the man should take it easy. Do you understand? Whatever is hot, at the end of the day, will get cold. Let him not take it hot. But like Mrs. Elizabeth have said, when we see, we will find a meeting ground on how to even go to investigate this woman and see, because monkey and banana, they are peripheral soup.
All right. We've all given our opinion. Let's go back to Mima.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us today. I hope you learned something new. But before we go, I'd like to add that the issue of sexual harassment is something that shouldn't be tolerated or encouraged at all. It has far-reaching consequences on the victims and even those that surround them. We've had cases of cultists, cult leaders killing lecturers, lecturers killing students, all because of sexual harassment. We've also had people with fantastic careers and future crumble because of sexual harassment. As much as possible, let's try to be kind to one another. Let's also remember that whatever you do, as they say, karma would still come back to haunt you. And if you don't want it to happen to your own child, to your own sister, to your own brother, please don't do it to another person's brother, sister, child, and the rest. From all of us here, and until we see you next time, please remember that you don't need to go through life's issues alone. You know why? Mima cares.